Hello, everyone. My name is Danny. This review is going to be for the movie called Stuber. This is a 2019 film. I saw it in theaters yesterday. It is rated R. It's directed by Michael Dowse. It stars Dave Bautista, Kumail Nanjiani, Mira Sorvino. It runs an hour and a half. Get ready for the ride of your life in this high speed buddy comedy fueled by non-stop action and huge laughs. When a mild mannered driver named Stu picks up a passenger who turns out to be a cop hot on the trail of a brutal killer, Stu is thrust into a harrowing ordeal in which he desperately tries to hold on to his wits, his life, and his 5-star rating. This is Stuber. So, um, this is one of those movies that if you're going to go see in theaters, it's just because you need a laugh. I needed that yesterday, so I went and saw it, and I very much laughed. It very much provides that. So, yeah. I think the only ways you can really critique a comedy like this is action, comedy, and acting. And so I'll break those down. The action in this is actually really good. There's a lot of fight scenes. There's a lot of bullets supposedly flying. There's a lot of tools that are used, as in cans of food being thrown at people, and there's a couple other elements that are thrown in, and it's interesting. And so I think the quality of the action is pretty on par for any movie that you think is supposed to be any good. And it maybe they don't use it all that well, but it is very entertaining, and it is very high flying. I like the main bad guy in this. He is very much a good karate person or martial arts person. He's very authentic and threatening with his moves and everything. And so as far as the storyline goes, there's two big twists, if you want to call them that, or like dramatic moments. And the first one is pretty dramatic for a movie that could almost be a farce. It surprised me how serious it really was at the beginning. So the end one was like, we kind of saw it coming, and everything. It's no big deal. But yeah, that part, it got a little bit more serious than I thought it would ever be. So as far as the comedy goes, this Kumail and Dave, like they're not The Rock and Kevin Hart or Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker or anything like that. It's a duo that tries to be funny and play off of each other. And I tell you, the whole time I was watching this movie, I could have dealt without this whole the cop Dave Bautista not being able to see. It really is really stupid, and it like kills the movie's momentum sometimes. Cause like there's some scenes that he can kind of tell what's going on and who he's talking to and all this stuff, but there's other times he can't see something in front of his face. Uh, that part of the movie could really get ripped apart by some people, and I would very much understand their ripping apart of it. So, but generally, I would say this movie is pretty darn funny. I did find myself, kind of rolling my eyes every once in a while, but I also found myself really laughing. There were some really good things. There's some really funny things. Not everything that the driver in this movie, Kumail, says is funny, but he tries to entertain you the whole time. He's very lighthearted. He's very much out of his element and he acts that way. He doesn't try to, all of a sudden turn into some, character that already figures out how to be a serial killer or anything like that. He very much plays his timid character the whole time, and I appreciate that. That didn't try and get unrealistic with him, and turn him into another big guy that is trying to be a cop or anything like that. He does get serious for a part of the movie, but it makes sense why. So, yeah. So as far as the acting goes, I've just got to put this out there because I think it's very obvious to everyone that um, these two actors are better than what this movie was. I think Dave Bautista is completely just ready for his next movie to come out because it's with a little girl, and being a former wrestler from the WWE, I think he wants that movie to be like a staple movie for him, in his life, like the game plan was for The Rock. And I expect big things out of that movie. I think he does too. And so this was maybe just kind of a warm up, to see people, have people see the lighter side of him and prepare us for his next movie. And like I said, the driver in this, he is really funny. And he can be funnier and he can be a better actor. And this was just kind of a showcase for him to show how he can be with just him and another person. Literally that's, kind of what we wanted out of this movie was to see how they could do just in this car for an extended part of the movie and then in a couple different scenes, and they were really funny, but it's just not like a staple for him because he has done some other great things and this is a great thing for him, but it's not going to be something to hang his hat on. So, as far as the acting goes, I think they were fine. I think that, it could have been better, and I think that people are not going to expect much out of this because, like I said, with the circumstances for Dave with his next movie, and he's been Guardian of the Galaxy and all this stuff, and with Kamal, just, he can be better than this. This was very slapstick. This was very much him just talking, just to talk. And his situation in this movie with this girl is just like in the way, and like it plays a important part of the story for a little while, but then it just seems to be extra, and it just seems to be in the way, and it just seems to be something to do. And like I said, the ending was a little predictable. It's a little slapstick, and I like this movie and everything. I just wish it would have ended with a little bit more credibility and not so obvious. Like it was really getting to a point where it was getting to be a really well done movie because of everything that was going on, the way people were talking to each other. It was getting there, but it just it was a little disappointing the whole time. And when you see an actor push a movie of his in the previews for the movie you're about to watch, you can just kind of tell that maybe their effort wasn't all there on this movie that you're about to watch. Maybe they weren't 100% on it because they're trying to push this other one that they want you to go see. And I know that's how it is with everybody. Maybe people don't see it that way. With Kevin Hart having a million movies out there, and Tom Hanks has had two out at one time. It's not always the case, but it just kind of felt like it with Dave in this movie. So, with all that said, I really did like Stuber. I really did laugh a lot. I really did appreciate what came out of it for what I expected out of it. So I'm going to give Stuber a B. I really think it's a fun time. I think that they could have been a lot better. I think it could have been a lot more well done. I think the focus could have been there. And it could have been a really staple comedy of the year. But now people are just going to be like, oh, there was just a comedy in the year, and no big deal, and no big emphasis or anything like that. So it's just kind of sad because it really has potential. It was a really original idea, The name of the movie and why that came up and that character that Stuber works with. It's just kind of interesting. It really had potential. I feel a little bit sad that I have to give it a B, but that's the grade for Stuber. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope everybody gives this a chance, but just know that it is what it is, and it had potential, but it didn't obviously want to achieve that. Thanks, guys. My name's Danny. If you like this or any of my other videos, try and get something to watch. Like and subscribe to my channel if you would, and enjoy your movies. Thanks.